Okay, just took delivery of something rather big here. Brought this yesterday on eBay, so it's come nice and quickly. Next day delivery, overnight courier, I suppose. And yeah, hopefully this is going to be a tool that's going to aid us massively in the garden. And I've been wanting one for a while, and it's brand new and it's pretty cheap, and hopefully it's going to do everything that I need it to. Anyway, I bought it on eBay, and obviously you get no reviews on eBay. You only rely on what you can find in people's sort of 80 character long feedbacks, and for the best part it all seemed pretty positive about this, and some negatives, people that had problem with the courier, and some people that wanted to send it back and it took a little bit of time, and a couple of parts that needed replacing, basically again being busted in transit, but for the best part I don't seem to have had any problems with the courier so far. The came next day and found me pretty easily, and yeah, pretty good. The box is a little bit battered, but I'm not sure if that's down to the courier or just down to the warehouse where it's being stored in, but hopefully the content should be okay. So anyway, I didn't get to see many reviews on it, and after I bought it I actually found the same one on Amazon. It was the same price, so nothing bad there, but you do get reviews on Amazon, and some of those did point out some pretty bad things about it. So at the moment, whilst it's sitting in the box there and untested, I'm not sure if I've done the right thing, so I'm not sure if I'll be sending it back. But who knows, we'll give it the benefit of the doubt, and we'll slice this box open. With that we can actually get our first look at what it actually is. Obviously I know what it is, I bought it. I ought to know what it is. It's always nice. That's some nice polystyrene packing in there, so it should be okay. One thing that I did find in the reviews was a lot of people saying it comes in an absolutely giant box, so I was expecting something massive, but this, if you ask me, really doesn't seem that big a box. I've had stuff come in bigger packages than this before. Okay, some of the polystyrene is a bit broken. That's a little discouraging. Yeah, so we're basically seeing this live. This should be a pretty good indication as to what it actually is. There you go, there's a bit of it. It's a nice big brush cutting blade. I'm not sure if I'll ever really use that. Okay, out comes the actual unit itself. Doesn't look too bad actually. Yeah. Let's just hope everything's in there. Oh, we've actually got some goodies that I wasn't expecting to get. Got a little fuel mixing bottle there. Okay, we've got the actual Strimmer boss here. That's the Strimmer line, and this is a pretty interesting thing. A lot of the reviews, some of the reviews said this has a tendency to explode after a couple of minutes of use. So I'm going to make sure that's well assembled before putting it onto the Strimmer. It seems pretty good. The line is pretty thick in there. Looks like we should get some decent use out of that before we replace it for some better stuff. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Not too bad. Alright. Yeah, I've got the instructions. That's going to be pretty funny. I've heard great things from this instruction manual. Yeah, apparently that's been just basically half-arsedly translated from Chinese to English, so that should be fun. Anyway, the engine itself is right there. What an absolute beast. Okay, there's the engine, and in the reviews it's actually been basically described as a moped engine on a stick. And it seems pretty accurate actually, because that is a 43cc engine, so we're only about 7 odd cc away from what you actually get on most mopeds. So yeah, it's a pretty big engine. So that should have no trouble cutting through everything basically. Okay, so let's pull the Strimmer out of the box and then we can have a look at some of the attachments. Yeah, she's a pretty lumpy engine. Not too bad though. Construction wise it's all looking pretty good. One thing people did say is Some people have received them with punctured fuel tanks, so that's something we're going to have to check. But yeah, looks pretty well made. Nothing seems to be loose. We're going to check absolutely everything on it though before we go and start it up for the first time. That doesn't look too bad. Okay, got a couple of other things in the box that need to be attached. Yeah, it's not look too bad. Handle has a pretty nice grip on it actually. It's pretty comfy. A lot better than the plastic one we have on the old McCulloch, and also, well, it's not even a McCulloch. What is it now? Oh, it's a Marksman, and the Echo. So yeah, that feels pretty good. I had some complaints about that as well, but it's better than what I'm used to using. Alright, let's have a look at a few of these things. What do we have here? Looks like the extension pole. Yeah, got nice rubber buns on the end to keep the crap out of it whilst it's stored away. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I have any complaints about that. Yeah, it looks pretty decent. Nice locking tabs. Everything is well oiled. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Well oiled indeed. Let's pull some of that bowl right out. We have the actual Strimmer shaft itself now. Doubles up as the brush cutter obviously when you put the brush cutter's blade on it. Like I said though, I'm not sure if I'm ever really going to have a need for that. Yeah, that again looks like a pretty nice unit. It's a little stiff at the moment, probably needs to be oiled, probably needs to be greased up. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. Yeah, that's another thing that we'll come on to. Looks like they might have beefed it up a little bit though, since those reviews that I've read, but yeah, that's the shoulder strap, which apparently isn't too great. Oh, bonus. I didn't think I was going to be getting any of these, the little tools that come with it. Obviously they're not going to be great, but got ourselves a little spark plug wrench there for it. That's going to come in handy because apparently the spark plugs that come in it don't last too long. So yeah, that's another thing that we're destined to find out about. What else we got in here? That's the actual Hedge cutter. That does look pretty nice. Fully adjustable Hedge cutter. Let's take a look at those. Oh yeah, nice big cut on that as well. That looks impressive. Doesn't look too bad at all. Various greasing nipples there as well. Yeah. Hopefully it's pretty easy to adjust. Oh yeah, that looks simple. Just pull out, push in those two tabs there. Oh yeah, no, that's really easy. You can do that on the fly. That's what I was hoping for. Hoping that we wasn't going to have to stop the engine every time we needed to adjust it to a different angle. Yeah, pretty good. That doesn't feel too heavy either. A lot of people were saying it's a really heavy unit, but yeah, they've either cut down on some materials since then, or people just aren't very strong nowadays. Not that I am strong, so we'll find out when it's all together how difficult it is to use. Okay, so it's like a first bit of major assembly that we're going to need to do. Yeah, that's the actual shaft for the chainsaw attachment. And we have the actual chainsaw in here. That looks like a pretty nicely made little unit as well. Yeah, nice little chainsaw. Oh yeah, see what they're saying. Far too much tension on the blade, on the chain rather. Yeah, that does have a bit too much tension on it. Seems to work pretty nicely there. Got a couple of grease nipples on there as well as the oil in it. Yeah, so far so good. And we've got the guard in there as well. That looks pretty nice. Nice removable skirt on there. Yeah, it's pretty good. Seems sturdy enough. Yeah. Oh well, there we go. that's it fully unboxed. We shall take a look at the engine, which is no doubt what I am definitely most interested in, and no doubt what most of these subscribers are probably mostly interested in as well. Right, well there's the engine. Yeah, it looks pretty nice actually. I'm pleasantly surprised. Yeah. Obviously all plastic cowling, but all the major brands nowadays use plastic over metal cowls. So yeah, what do you expect really? Bound to find plastic. But yeah, it looks pretty nice. It's a pretty nice unit. Let's get it out of that bag. One reason for opting over this over many others was its full crankshaft engine. You don't see that too often nowadays with Strimmers, unless you go really expensive. A lot of the cheaper ones are single bearing crankshafts, and they're just not as good. The old Marksman is a single bearing crank, and yeah, that's suffering quite badly with some pretty bad knocking, but yeah, this should be pretty nice. And for the best part, it looks in really nice clean shape, no damage so far. Yeah, it looks pretty good. A couple of things in the reviews. A lot of people were saying about the plastic cowlings and that, but what do you expect? It's going to be plastic. Obviously we've got a nice cast metal clutch housing here, and obviously the actual main block is cast alloy as well. But yeah, looks pretty nice. Everything seems to be working as it should. Kill switch is a little flimsy, some people said that, but again, does its job. And you've got the sort of interesting half choke sort of setup, not half choke, half throttle for starting, which is a little fiddly, but again it works, so yeah, it's not too bad. A couple of people said as well, there seemed to be a batch of them going around that had the choke sticker here put upside down, so a lot of people were saying that they wouldn't run off choke, but really they were running it off choke, but the label was the wrong way around, so they thought they were running it on choke. So yeah, I'm going to double check that, but it seems to be accurate. That's choke off, and it's up and open. Choke on. Yeah, that should be choke on, although I'm not sure. We'll double check that, but it looks pretty good. Yeah, it's not looking too bad at the moment. Let's just see if we can check out that fuel tank. Can't see any visible puncture marks there. No, it looks pretty good. Hear the filter knocking around in there. Compression doesn't feel bad. It's probably dry as well, so that will improve a bit after the first run. Full start sounds fairly healthy. A lot of people were saying the full starts on them aren't that great, but who knows, since those reviews they might have readdressed that problem, because it feels pretty good to me. Yeah, all in all, so far I'm pleasantly surprised. It's not a bad looking unit. See if we can get some assembly done in a minute. Yeah. Pretty good. Okay, I haven't actually mentioned the company that makes this. It's called Trueshopping. It's basically a sort of internet based company. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's looking pretty good. Looking forward to delving into a bit of that instruction manual. Apparently that's quite funny. But I think first we'll take a look at a few of the things that come with it. I really wasn't expecting to get a toolkit with this one. It wasn't pictured. It was pictured with the 52cc model, but I thought that would be a bit too much for what I need. There's a lot of cable ties in here. I'm not really sure what they're for at the moment. Yeah, I literally have no idea what some of these things are for. Yeah. A little bit lost at the moment. I mean, what on earth is that? Is that to perhaps adjust the carburetor maybe? Who knows? Anyway, that'll probably all come to light in a minute. We'll probably find out what all that stuff is for. The little shoulder strap, it's just a one-piece strap, so probably not going to be incredibly comfortable. Not going to be as good as a full harness. But yeah, that doesn't actually look too bad. Looks like they beefed it up a little bit. I'll give that a go, see how it goes. It'll either break or it won't. Bit of the stitching there looks a little bit nasty, but if it does break, I can either phone them up and they'll send a replacement fairly simply, or I can just use a Ryobi one that I've got, which will probably do the job just as well. It actually feels Actually doesn't feel too bad. Yeah, I can imagine having the engine on that quite nicely when it's adjusted up to suit me. Yeah, we'll give that a go. Can't be all that bad, surely. Right, anyway, hopefully the instructions are going to tell us what a few of these tools are for. Obviously, the more obvious things, that's obviously your spark plug. Wrench there. And you're obviously going to use one of your Allen keys. Yeah, it's not looking too bad. The El Cheapo spanner. That is about the cheapest spanner I've ever seen in my life, but it'll do the job. Yeah, it's not too bad. Got either a spare bolt there, or who knows, little tiny elastic band for some reason. Hopefully that isn't going to turn out to be a part of the Strimmer. Right, anyway, let's have a little delve into this instruction manual. Apparently this is great, so yeah, let's have a look. Okay, we obviously already know what's in the box. It says what's in the box, and then it gives you a contents list. That's exactly the same thing. Putting it together, that should be useful, but it's not rocket science. Surely to God, it's bolting a few things together. Oh yeah, the pictures aren't of fantastic quality, it must be said. Yeah, it doesn't look that bad though. Looks pretty damn straightforward.